Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of Aging in Style with American Retirement Advisors. So joining us now, as always, President Owner Joe Vitale. Joe, thanks for calling it in. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Blake. Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well. Thank you for calling. Don't forget to get Joe's newsletter, Financial Vitals, for the latest in market trends and financial news. You could do that by scanning the QR code right down on your screen for that access. But today's topic, financial burnout and how to avoid it. Timely conversation, of course, continuing our conversation from last time and just focusing on how to be secure with our finances. So Joe, let's start off with emergency funds and how much we should really have on hand.
That attributes a lot to financial burnout, because a lot of times people are just living and not having enough cash on hand, putting stuff on credit cards, and before you know it, it's like, my gosh, it's a vicious cycle. So what you really want to do is, you hear all the time, 3 to 6 months of cash on hand at all times. You really need that. That way, if you have an unexpected expense come up, you can cash flow that. You definitely don't want to put it on credit card. And one of the things that we're talking about is a lot of people, they say the economy right now is resilient. The American people are resilient. They're still spending like crazy. It's like, oh, that's great. So we're good. Yeah, but the credit card debt is going up and up and up. People are spending, but a lot of it's going on credit card. We want to avoid that because it's going to be horrible down the road. So you definitely want to make sure 3 to 6 months. Sometimes you have to have a lot more than that just to have that peace of mind, but you definitely don't want to just sitting there doing nothing. So there's strategies for that as well, but at least 3 to 6 months just for peace of mind.
It's good to know. And Joe, about the house, trying to pay it off, is that best to have that done by the time of retirement, or what's the best?
Yeah, I think it's especially you look at the traditional mindset, the old world, the house was paid off a long time ago, always same house for 40, 50 years. I think it's a great strategy. It just, again, it gives you more peace of mind in retirement, where you don't have to worry about having that big payment every month. But if you are looking at a 2% interest rate or a 3% interest rate, it's hard to pay that off. If you can get 3 to 5, 6, 7% on that money. So you're actually, at this point, because interest rates have come up so much, we're able to get a better rate of return. If you happen to lock in at 2 to 3%, then, I'm not always saying pay off the house, but when you do transition into retirement, if you got the cash, pay off the house, just one less thing to worry about, gives you more peace in retirement. So yeah, I'm a big advocate in paying it off. Just, again, part of Dave Ramsey's is get the house paid off, make sure emergency fund. Just very good things to give you peace of mind, because everything can always change.
Of course, yeah. And how do we really ensure we're getting enough when it comes to our rate of return, Joe?
Well, definitely not by leaving it in the bank doing 0.0, or a money market 0.5. That's nothing. Thankfully, we do have options today where before you could get nothing, but you could get a money market paying 4.25%. Insured, guaranteed, which is a great rate right now for money that you could easily move without locking it up in a CD. If you are looking at, I need this money in a year or two, yeah, 1-year CD is great. That's a great way to get a better rate of return. But I've had clients and people come across with $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $1 million sitting in the bank, doing absolutely nothing, making no interest, but oh, it's safe, I've got peace of mind. Well, it's great, but you're not even keeping up with inflation.
Yeah.
So we like to look at strategies. Keep 3. I don't care if you get, 20, 30, 40,000, 50,000 making no interest. That's fine, because you've got immediately accessibility. But other than that, let's look at strategies where we can get 4, 5, 6%, very safe, secure, at least, trying to keep up with inflation, but at least making some money. It makes a lot of sense. So yeah, there are good strategies out there. You want to look at it because it makes a huge difference.
Okay. And we want to switch over to why someone would get a trust in place and why.
Yeah, that's another thing. All these things we're talking about attribute to financial burnout, because, if you don't get your will or trust in order, the will, remember, a will go through probate. People say, all I need is a will. Well, you're going through probate. Now, not necessarily, but a lot of times, if you have beneficiary provisions on your assets, on your bank account, if you do have beneficiaries, that will go through probate. But what about the house? What about special needs? What about making sure you've got your powers of attorney in place? Because, oh, well, my husband, what's mine is his, and his. No, not necessarily, not his IRA or your IRA. you have to have a power of attorney to access that. God forbid something happens where they can't take care of things. So you definitely want to get with a good elder law attorney. We talk about this all the time. Carol Thomas in Saginaw, there's nobody better. She's amazing. Definitely get your powers of attorney. Get your trust in order. Make sure you've got the proper deed on that house. So if anything happens, it bypasses probate, goes right to your beneficiaries the way it's supposed to. Talk about a trust. People say, well, I don't need a trust. I've got a lot of families over the years where some of the kids are good with money, some are not good with money, or you have grandkids with special needs and you want to do a special needs type of trust. That's all type of things you can put in the beneficiary provisions. You might say, hey, I want this child to get the money over 10 years. This one can get a lump sum. This one, just a monthly paycheck. Those are all provisions that can go into a trust so that when you pass away, you know your wishes are going to be exactly the way you want to, and just gives you that peace of mind. It's so inexpensive to do it and right now as opposed to down the road.
Yeah.
You know, if people get the dementia and they can't think, they can't, well, it's too late at that point. Get it done while you can.
Yeah, Attorney Thomas stresses that, you know, be prepared rather than trying to catch up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, for long-term care, you would say, you know, this is kind of needed for these, the trusts and all these documents.
You know, and look at long-term care insurance. 70% of people are going to need long-term care in their lifetime, yet 10% of people buy the long-term care insurance. Dave Ramsey says get everybody by 60 years old, you should have long-term care insurance, but reality says it doesn't happen. I'm 54 years old. I took care of it 5 years ago, but I didn't buy long-term care insurance. I bought the hybrid. Why? If I never use it, my family gets a tax-free death benefit. Love that. If I do need it, I've got enough to take care of it, whether it's home care, assisted living. If we have a nursing home situation, we get on the phone with Carol Thomas and take care of that because she knows how to protect everything. So these are all things that we look at. We try to make sure our strategies are sound, that if our clients go into assisted living or nursing home, we know how to protect all that money that you've worked so hard for so you don't lose it all. That's huge. Most people don't know how to do that. And if you don't know, it's great to make it, it's great to grow it, but how are you going to preserve it now? You know, when you get to the golden years, that's what we all help with. So it's really huge, hugely important at this point.
And these tips have been helpful so far. Joe, anything else you want to add?
You know, give us a call if there's anything you need. We're here to help. And the most important thing is just get your ducks in a row. Get everything. I can't tell you how many times people put it off. Don't need to. It's just so easy to get with the attorneys, so easy to get your plan in place, so easy to just make sure. If you want us, you know, a second opinion, give us a call. We're here to help. But it's most important, give you that peace of mind in retirement, avoid financial burnout. Don't have to worry about it as long as you got a plan in place.
Joe, appreciate your time. Thank you.
My pleasure, Blake. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, of course. And before we go, do not forget those updates for the market and anything else that you need through Joe's newsletter, Financial Vitals. And for more information on today's topic, go to the Aging in Style page on our website, WNEM.com.